Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar on the topic How Trade Publishers Are Securely Reaching 5x More Readers. First of all, thank you for being here. The fact that you've taken out time today to join us tells me one thing, that you're serious about growing your audience, but you don't want to do it the wrong way. You want to do it the right way, which is in a secure and a sustainable fashion. Today, trade publishers are facing a very unique twofold challenge. Every Everyone wants to expand their digital reach while keeping things under control, but that's not happening. Questions like how do we scale without overcomplicating our distribution? How do we keep control of our rights, formats, or even accesses? And how do we make sure the system that we are building is actually supporting our growth? These kind of questions virtually come up in every conversation we are having with trade publishers, and that's what this session is all about: reaching a huge number of readers without losing control of your content. Now, to help us unpack this, we have a power panel lined up for you today. Let me start by introducing our chief panelist. He's the reason the story exists. When his team faced the challenge of scaling digital reach, it wasn't just a theory. They had to make it happen. And they did it. With KITABOO, they grew their users by 5 times. You're going to hear firsthand what the transformation looked like and what lessons you can apply from it today. Joining Mr. Alnoor is our second panelist, Mr. Bhavin Doshi. He's our AVP of Customer Success, and he's the guy behind the curtains, the person who works side by side with publishers to make their digital scale real. And finally, moderating the conversation today between Mr. Alnoor and Mr. Bhavin is Mr. Jagadish, who we commonly known as JC. He's our VP of Sales, and you know he's been working with publishers quite closely for so many years, help them make smarter decisions, unlock new growth opportunities. And I'll say this now with utmost confidence. By the end of the webinar, you'll want to book a one-on-one slot with him. I'm that confident about him. So, without any further ado, let me first ask you a question. Now, the question is pretty simple. I'll show you a number right now, and you can see that on my screen right now. What do you think when you're watching, or you're rather looking at this number? What comes to your mind? I'm curious to know. Can you drop in your comments so I know what you're thinking about this number? This is something I'll reveal at the end, but one thing I want to tell you is that it's worth sticking around to know, and it's going to tell a really powerful story. So, 16 years to KITABOO. Yeah, you're quite close to that. But that's not what we are about. And I'll reveal it at the end. But before that, let's jump into the actual crux of the conversation. So, JC, I'll hand it over to you to start the conversation with the folks.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Darshit. I saw one comment which says books are printed in multiples of 16 pages. I don't know if that is true or not, but it's very interesting to see that. Uh, but thank you so much again, everybody, for joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from. I'm really honored to be moderating this session and be part of the panel. Thank you for the opportunity as well. So we'll start with Alnoor. Alnoor, can you start by introducing yourself? And for the people who don't know the Institute of Ismaili Studies, tell us a bit more about the publishing mission of the institute and who do you reach, and then how do you think about scale and growth when it comes to digital distribution?
Sure. So just to give you a bit of background, the Institute of Ismaili Studies, the organization that I work for, was established in 1997, sorry, 1977, by His late Highness Aga Khan IV as an academic institution of higher education. The institution itself is based at the Aga Khan Center in the vibrant area of King's Cross in London. The institute is dedicated to the study of Islam with a particular focus on Ismaili studies. As part of this mission, the IIS produces religious education curriculum for children globally, for Ismaili children globally. The curriculum is taught in religious education centers or at home by parents. My specific role is that of design and production manager for the IIS's Department of Education. My remit is to oversee the design and production of the curriculum, which caters for the K-12 age group, as well as ECD and adult education. The curriculum is produced in 11 languages, which is a big challenge. Our target user groups are the students, the teachers, and the parents. Parents, because a lot of out-of-class teaching is done at home. Our goal is to make the curriculum materials available to all children in the community on a global basis, and this presents various challenges, and that's where sort of like the digital platform comes in.
Awesome. If I might dig a little bit deeper into that, I noticed that you've been with the institute for about 30 odd years now. That's a long time. And you've seen it all, right? You've seen the adoption of digital and all those things. So I'm just curious, when did it all start becoming digital, and when did you figure out that there is this critical mass that there's going to be more digital adoption going forward?
Yeah, the thing is that I actually joined the institute in 1994, and at that time it was the time of desktop publishing, and that's how I got involved. But time doesn't stand still, and you know, as part of the printing side, there are many challenges because we have to try and get physical printed publications available to our users who are spread globally, and this needs to be done in a timely manner. Our challenges have included catering for the needs of the centers on an annual basis, the cost of printing on a large scale, distribution of the material globally, and storage of material for ad hoc requests. There may also be a need to update some of the materials in terms of the content of the materials. But in print, you only have one opportunity prior to printing. Once the printing is done, that's it. So until the next print run, there's no scope for making changes. And this could be after some time. There are also the usual concerns about copyright infringement or malicious adaptation. And we also print our publications in different parts of the world as well. And this presents its own challenges in terms of logistics and time constraints.
And in terms of your digital distribution itself, was it always with KITABOO, or did you try something else and then move to KITABOO? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I actually came across the KITABOO platform some time ago, and this was at one of the BET exhibitions in London. And for us at that time, we weren't ready to get onto the digital platform. But the digital publishing for us, the right time was in around 2018 when we were looking to using the digital space to deliver our curriculum. The reason for this was not only cost and logistics, but also content security and distribution at pace. There was also a need and requirement from our users in terms of because at that time, secular schools were also starting to get into digital publishing, and our students needed the same type of material of the same sort of quality. Um, when we were looking at the field of digital publishing, we were hit by the pandemic. This made it incumbent on us to make the change quickly to meet the needs of our students and teachers who were now required to participate in classes remotely. This presented various challenges, but since we had commenced the process, we were able to speed up the process. And here, KITABOO was instrumental in making this happen as we set up the first build of the platform with 4 user interface languages. We called our customized platform the IIS Digital Curriculum. This helped to meet the immediate needs of the educational needs of the students and the teachers within our community. So when investigating different platform possibilities, we considered various areas that we needed to cover. One was that the platform should be scalable in terms of the number of publications, the number of users, and also the number of producers in the background. We also had to consider things like data security. And this is not only security of the content of the platform, but also user data. This is critical to be a trusted platform. Being able to add value to the content, this would mean the possibility of enriching the content with possibly audio, video, quizzes, HTML5 interactive components. This opens up a possibility of growing the platform and making the content a lot more interesting. In terms of control over the content, we need to have control over the publications, control over the user data, and the ability to update the content as and when we need. The ability to also give and revoke access as required. And one of the key things, because of the nature of our community, that the platform has to have global reach. And obviously the bottom line, the cost, sort of the setting up cost and the monthly fees.
Got it, got it. And I think some of those things resonate, I'm pretty sure, with all of the people in the audience as well. The content security, scalability, being able to adopt with the production workflow that you already have, and then the user data. Those things obviously do resonate with most of the audience members. Bhavin, I'd like your take on this. When the Institute of Ismaili Studies and
Mm-hmm.
us started talking, how did we really approach that matchmaking, if you will, for the lack of better word? How
Yeah,
did that solutioning really went about, and how did we differentiate with the other solutions which the institute might have been considering?
sure. That's a good question, JC. Again, back in 2020, when we started working with Ismaili Institute, what we realized is they have clearly mapped it out on what is it that is required, what are they aiming for, and that helped us a lot, right? To sort of map out what is it that they're looking for, which features are available already on our platform. For example, Alnoor just mentioned about content security, having control over content, right? I could resonate with it. In the print world, you have that one chance to print things and then wait till next year. So I recall clearly that was one of the requirements, that we want control. We want our content to be secured. We want to be able to see uh, how many users are coming in and stuff like that. So analytics, right? So we were able to map out what was good about Islamic studies is that they were focused on building a stable platform first before adding in a lot of features. So that helped us sort of map out our project plan and get to a steady state before adding more features into it, more languages into it, user management into it and so on.
Awesome. I know Darshit wanted to jump in at this time. Darshit?
Yeah, yeah. So I've kept things for the audience as well. I'm just going to take a poll live. I want you guys to select the answer, whatever you feel is correct according to your business use case. And this is the question. You will be having the questions on your screen. Just select whatever you think is correct as per your business requirement. So this will help us understand exactly what problem you guys are trying to solve. So it looks like global reach is a big problem, and that's actually very true. Coming in second is the language barrier. Of course, you want to grow into a global market, you cannot use just one language. You have to have multiple language. Absolutely correct.
No, that's so close to the feedback or the requirements that we get from our existing trade publishers. That's really good. That's heartening to hear that a lot of attendee people attending this session resonate with this.
Awesome, awesome. I see a good mixed batch of answers. All of the problems are the biggest problems that you are having right now. And thanks for sharing that. I'll just wait for a couple of seconds so that everyone can join. Um, we'll come to that soon. I'm not able to look at the name, but we'll come to that soon, definitely. So stick around. And I'll end the poll right now so we can continue with the session. Over to you, JC.
Yeah. And Alnoor, since many of them are talking about the global reach, and you also mentioned that because the diverse audience, global reach and multi-language, ability was important for you. Uh, what percentage is really overseas for you in terms of the audience versus UK?
Yeah, I mean, our audience, as I mentioned, in terms of the user groups, are the students and teachers, and they're really spread globally
Yeah.
across all the different continents. So that was our main one of our main sort of criteria that we had to decide on in terms of which platform to go with. And obviously, you have things like data security and GDPR considerations. So one of the things that we wanted was that our data should be based in the EU. This is something that KITABOO allowed us to do. So the data is based in the EU. So in terms of our legal and regulatory concerns were met. And as I mentioned that we started off with 4 languages. We now have 11 languages in terms of the user interface.
Awesome.
And so we've moved on quite a bit. And one of our requirements is that we need to have the ability to read right to left languages like Arabic and Urdu.
Yeah.
This is something that we work with KITABOO, and now we have a feature to be able to read right to left languages. And one of our key requirements was that in terms of our user base, we have many users in urban areas, but we also have a lot of users in rural areas and where internet access can be an issue. So what we wanted to do was to try and make the platform as least reliant on constant internet access. So along with KITABOO, we developed customized offline apps. So in these apps, and this is for all the major operating systems, iOS, macOS, Windows, Android. And this allows users to be able to download the books into their apps and they can read the apps, read the books without constant internet access. So this is a key win for us.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that all sounds really exciting. Bhavin, there's a question also in the chat which I wanted you to address. Since global reach is crucial, what are the plans for making KITABOO available in different languages? We already have KITABOO, the
Yeah.
multi-language interface, but I want you to add your bit to that.
Yeah, so as Alnoor mentioned, they started off with 4 languages. Now they have 11 languages. So our platform is pretty flexible in that manner. We have clients right now who requested us to support languages that are outside of those 11 languages, and we've been working with them. So to answer that question, again, yes, we do support these languages. And if there is something that is not currently supported, as I mentioned, our platform is flexible enough to sort of allow for customizations and add languages pretty quickly.
Yeah. And so far, whatever we've talked about has been the UI language, essentially. So the user interface is in different languages, and the users who speak different languages, they'll be able to change the UI to that language and access, both on the shelf as well as when they're reading the content. And then we can also talk about the translation itself, localization of the content. Again, we can discuss all these things. If you want to know more, reach out to us. There's translations that can be enabled with APIs on the reader, but a lot of publishers don't want us to tinker with the content itself. So we have restricted so far to, I see Alnoor smiling as well. So we have restricted ourselves to the UI interfaces. But of course, there is, for people who are interested in translation of the content itself, we can, the platform can help you with that too. I think with that, there's another thing that we wanted to know, Alnoor. Since you started this digital journey with us, and then at what point did you realize that yes, it is actually working for us? So was there some statistics or some feedback which really told you that yeah, KITABOO is working for us, and this digital distribution strategy is really working for us?
I think as I mentioned earlier, so at the time of the pandemic, the support that we received from KITABOO was very crucial in terms of getting our educational needs to our students and teachers. So that was a key moment, and also the way we get our users to access the platforms. We went for the subscription model, and along with KITABOO, we developed a subscription management system. This is a bespoke piece of software, and it's a portal, and that enables us to give our users access to the platform, and also to be able to monitor the membership. So this was very useful for us, and also being able to give access to users not only through sort of an online method of the portal through the schools, but also through access code cards that we worked with KITABOO to produce. And so now that method is there as well. So we've got 2 ways to that users can gain access to our platform, and so this gives makes it easier and convenient for the user to use the platform and to create their accounts.
Awesome, awesome. Bhavin, I know the pandemic was a crucial turnaround
Turnaround.
for all digital platforms, and I remember statistics which talked about 30 times increase in usage and growth and all that. And since you had the crucial function of customer success, how did the team actually handle all those things? Are we still seeing the similar level of growth, or has that tapered off? How are you seeing the trends in terms of digital access itself?
So obviously, the pandemic was a change for everyone. There was a sudden push to digital. Uh, as you mentioned, we grew by around 35%, 30x, right? It was a rush. Our engineering, back in technology, it has the ability. We've always focused on being scalable, right? So you can scale up and down. So as far as the API calls or the users are concerned, sudden growth in users did not cause a lot of problems. Yes, customer success, there were challenges in onboarding customers, but we were able to get through that. Uh, the growth has tapered in sense, compared to pandemic years. Yes, it's slowed down. The adoption is still pretty high, right? So uh, around 10-12% of growth we are still seeing, uh, in terms of acquisition of new clients, in terms of our clients acquiring more customers. Global reach that Arun just mentioned, and I see a lot of people posting that question, is one of the reasons why people sort of prefer using the platform.
Great, great. And I think, Alnoor, you also talked about reports and analytics as well. In my conversation, especially with a lot of trade publishers, the point of analytics and being able to do the royalty calculation based on the usage and all of that becomes a crucial point. Is that similar for you as well, or how do you look at royalty calculation and reporting analytics?
Yeah, I think the analytics side is very crucial in the sense that what we benefit from is, like, say, for example, in terms of our publications, which publications are being accessed most. Sort of, and it can also be broken down in terms of geography. So, in which areas these publications are being used most, or whatever. But as I mentioned, that because our model is different, we work on a subscription model. So the subscription management system that's been developed for us is crucial in terms of being able to manage membership, and that helps us to sort of manage the financial side in terms of invoicing and everything. And so that's what we do that on a quarterly basis, and getting the numbers from the subscription management system. But in terms of analytics, getting to know, one of the key things is getting to know the user, and for us, the analytics help to get to know the users, so we can actually progress our journey depending on sort of the needs of the users.
Awesome. I think there's one question in the chat box, which I also wanted to ask. What is that one principal advice that you would want to give the publishers in the audience to increase their global reach, whether they're KITABOO publishers or otherwise? What is it that your advice going to be?
Okay, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want to give advice, but the thing, some things that I would say that need to be focused on are, main thing is focus on your user or user group, and let that drive your future strategy. Build your platform and ecosystem around your users' needs, and to make things as easy as possible for the user, and to keep things fresh in the sense that, as I mentioned, being able to enrich your publications in a digital sense. So to try and make your publications interesting for the user, and also for, if it's a matter of educational publishing, for the teachers as well. And also to keep innovating in terms of, as things develop over time, to try and get things to incorporate those developments in your platform. The main thing that I would, as my main takeaway, would be, don't stand still and keep moving, keep on progressing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Bhavin, your take on that?
yeah. Again, I'm aligned to what Alnoor is saying, that just to expand on it, right? When we say look at your customers and have a strategy to serve them, it could be in multiple ways, right? If you're only primarily serving English customers, look at other languages where your customers might be, right? Expand your digital reach through language, expand it by using multiple devices, because some of them might be using mobile devices, some of them might be using desktop. So have a strategy or digital strategy that reaches out to maximum audience globally through multiple devices, serving multiple age groups. And as Alnoor mentioned, don't stand still. Keep on innovating stuff. And find strategies to engage your customers. The
Yeah.
more they stick with the more they open the app, the more they open your site, you know that it's working. You know your customers want to come back and read your material. Right? And that's where analytics plays a huge role to understand what's working on the content side of it and what's not working.
Wonderful. So my 2 cents on that, it depends on where in the digital journey you are in. And if you're still thinking about whether we should do digital or not, I would say, you know what, crawl, walk, and run. You have to start crawling, at least start with something, and then you will progress down that road. Don't stay still, as Alnoor mentioned. But if you're already, you have a digital presence, you've been selling through your website, there is a great amount of traffic coming to that, then instead of redirecting the users to sites like Amazon or some other distributors for digital, you can plug in a player like KITABOO or any other digital reader with your own website so that you can retain your users yourself. The advantage that gives you is it gives you the data. It gives you the usage information, how are audience or readers interacting with your content, what is resonating with them. That helps you create better products. And then it's a cycle. It helps you grow, and it helps you create better content. With better content, there'll be more number of users. So that is another one. And then making your content interactive and interesting, especially if it is in the education space, you can add a lot of interactivities. And then I'll quickly show you a demo of the platform. It's not a full-fledged demo, but a short glimpse into what the platform looks like. Uh, there's a lot of things in the platform which you can use to make the content interactive and use media. Everybody likes to watch rather than read. So use that media, use audio as well. So those are things that you can use to make the content stick and your users use or access the content more or longer. So that's some of the things that you can use. But if there is any specific use case, for example, there was somebody who mentioned in the comment that I wanted to know how my US publisher can reach the global audience, right? So we can discuss that one-on-one, set up a 15-minute conversation, and then look at your use case and then tailor that strategy for you. We'll do all of that. And then there's just one other question which was talking about does KITABOO have collaboration tools like interactions and annotations? How good is it with EPUBs? So KITABOO, that's bread and butter for us, EPUBs and then interactive content. So I'm going to show that to you, not talk too much, but then show the demo itself. With that, let me quickly share my screen if that's okay. In the meantime, if somebody else has any questions, feel free to drop that in the chat box and we'll try to take it. All right, just one more second. Share sound. All right, I hope you all see my screen. Darshit, can you confirm?
Sure.
Yes, I can see your screen. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So KITABOO, we talked about how it is used for distribution and all of that. As I was talking in the last bit of my answer, if you are a trade publisher, if you have your e-commerce and people are coming there to purchase content already, you can, let me just pull this down. Yeah, so you can just plug in a player like KITABOO to your website. It could be an e-commerce site. If you have your member system or a registration system like Alnoor, you can integrate that with KITABOO and give seamless access. So this is one of our customers who has an e-commerce platform, and then we have integrated that with KITABOO. So they still have the option to sell it on other distributors. It's not that you're tying to KITABOO or there's exclusivity or anything like that. They can still continue to redirect users to other sites, but then if they want to sell the ebooks on their own website, they can do that. So there's a payment gateway integrated, and once the user purchases the content on this site, there's the bookshelf. Once they click on it, the book will be available for access. So it gives access immediately. There's no wait time or anything like that. You purchase and then immediately you can get access. So that's one of the things. And then the KITABOO, what I wanted to focus today was more on the demo version, which is a KITABOO branded platform. Of course, it will be white labeled for all our customers. We talked about multi-language capability, right? So you can change the language on the platform. So the UI changes, all of the labels and everything on the platform changes. Again, as I said, we'll retain the content as it is. We're not tinkering with the content. It's only the UI which changes. We also have a lot of single sign-on options. If you want to distribute access codes, you can do that as well. Let me quickly sign in and show you one of the books. There's a robust search and discovery tool which is available. The search will crawl across all of the content of the platform and surface the content which is important, which is necessary based on the keyword. And then there are filter facets. Everything is customizable. So what you're seeing is just a demo version, but everything can be customized. Search, filter facets, and then the UI, the design, colors, branding, all of that can be customized. If I go to the recently viewed tab, I'll be able to see all of the books that I've opened up recently. And if I open one of these books, this is an EPUB. If you have a PDF and want to convert it into an EPUB, you can upload it to the platform and it will automatically convert to the EPUB and render it as an EPUB. So if it's a PDF, it gets converted into a fixed layout EPUB, something like this. You can have a single page view, double page view, and the table of contents also get generated automatically. And I think we mentioned about using interactivities and making the content rich, right? So you can embed audio or a video into the book itself. This is an EPUB where we have embedded a video, right? Similarly, we can have a test or a quiz which is embedded. The assessments are created using the KITABOO Studio, which is the backend platform. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Let me not go through this for now. And somebody asked about the interactivities, right? So I can use the interactive tools out here. There's highlights tab or option. I can select any text I want. I can color code it and highlight it. And if I want to add a contextual note, I can add that note here. This is a note for myself. And if you're in a education kind of a setting where you have groups or cohorts and classrooms, the users can share it with each other, share with the teachers, share with other students in the group. So all that is available in the KITABOO platform. So this is the contextual notes. You also have sticky notes that you can drag and drop anywhere, and you can color code that as well. You have a search in the book as well, apart from the search on the shelf. And then all of the data that all of the personalizations that you do, like highlights and notes, everything will be available for quick access in the My Data section. You can print it, you can filter it, and then if someone shares anything with you, you have the notifications here as well. So let me just quickly open that again. And I showed you the highlights and notes and all of that. You can also have glossaries, rather. So you can have glossaries that can also be interactive with multimedia embedded in that. You can have audio which is embedded into the book itself.
An overview of the human body as a complex machine.
The read aloud can be for specific sections, or it can be for the complete book itself. There is this read aloud option on the top. If I click on it,
Meet your marvelous machine. What you'll learn. Did you
I can change the highlighting color. I can also change the voice setting. So this is basically based on the system settings. If you have professionally recorded audios, you can embed that as well into the player. This is multiple images. You can create a slideshow of that. And there is an AI tool also that can be embedded into the KITABOO platform. This is the K.AI. This widget can be used to generate learning objectives, summaries of the chapter or the book. I can also ask the AI widget to create some assessments for me, multiple choice questions, the numbers, and then I can also have it create flashcards for me. I can select the language also in which I want the summaries and the assessments to be generated, the level of complexity, and then whether I want it from the chapter or the entire book. And the system will generate the whatever I've selected, the learning objectives, summaries, flashcards, in a matter of a few seconds. These are all used for self-assessment. So these are things that you can use for making the book more interactive so that the readers are engaged with your content. Again, depending on the type of content and the audience, you can have different strategies that can be used. So the question is, what is unique about cardiac muscles? And then there's your answer. So I asked for 5 of those flashcards. So I've got 5 of them. And then I've asked for the multiple choice question. So I have that as well. And the assessments that we build and embed into the KITABOO platform, we can actually
Structure of
it can be submitted so that the instructor can evaluate, and all those things are available. In our KITABOO world, we deal with variety of publishers. We deal with educational publishers, lower grades, and then the higher grades, higher education as well. And then we work with people who offer lifelong learning, continuous education. And then we also deal with trade publishers. So all of them will have their own different strategies, but the features are available, features and functionality. You can pick and choose the strategy based on the type of content and the audience. And of course, our consultants will be able to help you in figuring out what is the right way for your publishing. And then not just the books, we also support audio, video, e-learning content as well. So depending on what type of content you have, this can be a unified content hosting and delivery solution. So you can have any type of content that you publish, hosted on the platform, and then distribute it to your users. And the distribution can happen either by licensing through the KITABOO platform, or you might have your own licensing system, and then we can integrate KITABOO with that.
team members distribute content on device?
So this is an example of an audiobook, different tracks. And then when I'm playing, I can bookmark, I can, go back or forward it. I can also have the sleep timers. So we have a similar video player as well, and a SCOM player for e-learning content. So all types of digital content is supported on the platform. So that's the user interface and how the users access content on the platform. And I just want to spend a couple of minutes on the backend system as well. You don't need any technical skills or development experience to use a platform like this. You can this is all very intuitive. You can upload your content one at a time or in bulk. Darshit, is there a question? I see something on the chat.
Yes, there's one question. Is asking, I'm not sure how this platform drives sales for trade books.
So we don't do sales on the platform. We are all about distribution. So if you are distributing content, say using licensing, there is this customers tab where you can issue licenses and whether access codes or direct distribution, you can do that. Or if you already have a sales platform, we can plug in KITABOO to that so that you don't have to redirect your users to purchase ebooks on any other distributor, but then keep them to your own platform so that you get the data and all the analytics with that. So talking about the analytics, it has a rich data which is available. You can look at this since we support individual users as well as institutional. There's data available for both type of users and usage on the platform. You can look at the interactions on the platform, and then you can filter it based on the title as well as the time period. And if you need to go look at detailed reports, there's other bunch of reports which are available in the admin center. For example, this book statistics. So this is something which can help you in your royalty calculations. For a fixed period of time, you'll get to see a particular book, how many users have accessed, how much time they've spent. So based on your agreements with the authors, this can help you in your royalty calculation. And we can look at automating that as well with some customizations. Similarly, you have the user statistics also. You get to see which user, how many books they've accessed, what books, how much time they've spent, and all that. And in an education setting, the instructors can look at a detailed report, and then the students will be able to submit the answers and all of that. And we talked about making the content interactive. Again, that also doesn't require any coding skills. This is a markup tool which is available within the KITABOO studio itself. So if you have a PDF that you've uploaded, it gets converted into an EPUB and would come into a tool like this. And then these are all drag and drop options which are available. If I want to add a video on this page, I can just drop it here or wherever I want, and I can upload the video either from my computer or I can link it to any of the video hosting services. It could be Cultura, YouTube, Vimeo, Bright Cove, and all of that. You can just add the video ID and then that gets embedded into the book itself. Uh, Again, these visual cues, you can either hide them or leave it as it is so the users know that there is some interactivity there. Likewise, there's image, there's other widgets. If you have any HTML tool, you can input that as well here. So these are some of the tools which are available to make your content interactive so that it engages your users and makes it a little bit more interactive. Uh, I think with that, I want to stop the demo and use the rest of the time for any questions or maybe thoughts from Bhavin and Alnoor as well. Um, if you need to see a detailed demo, obviously you can reach out to us and we can set up a one-on-one with you and walk you through that.
I guess people are curious about what the number meant, what I shared the start of the webinar. So uh, let me share that. Just real quick, recapping what this number meant. Do you guys still have any idea on what this number is? Because I'm going to share it soon. So this is exactly the number of days remaining until the European Accessibility Act is in full force, which means you have 16 more days to protect your content from the access of those 27 markets. You have 16 more days to make your ebooks compliant, and 16 more days before it's no longer a choice for you. It's a consequence. Because you stayed on for this long, I want to help you with that, right? I want to make sure that things are moving smoothly for you. So with that, I have a very exclusive offer for you, those who have stayed with us so far. And mind you, this offer is not available anywhere else on the website or on the email. Nowhere you'll find this offer being shown to you. This is only for the people who are still there with us. We'll take one of your books, make it fully accessible, fully secure, and deliver it to you within the 7 days. Now, within those 7 days, we'll make sure it is compliant with the European Accessibility Act, it is compliant with WCAG 2.2 compliance, it is properly delivered in a secure fashion so that piracy doesn't become an issue for you. And this book will be ready for you to distribute to your huge network. To enroll in this offer, you'll have to sign up by scanning this QR code right now. Just be asked a few questions, just normal name questions, and then some of us will be reaching out to you within the next 24 hours. So sign up, scan right now, and with that, I'll open up the channel for a Q&A session. So guys, throw in your questions. We are here to answer. I believe this question was interesting. It can be useful for everyone. Does the video feature support videos from Panopto? You can answer it for everyone.
So we can add additional services as well, but right now it is set up for YouTube, Vimeo, Kaltura, and Brightco. But it can be added to extend to other services as well.
Awesome. There was one question that was particularly specific to scientific journals. Can we use Kitabo for scientific journals and for books?
Absolutely. So whether it is serial publications or books, KITABOO can be used for both of them. Uh, and depending on the format that you have, you can share with us, and then we can create a proof of concept as well, so that you get to see your own content hosted on the platform for you to test and see.
Awesome. Awesome. Any more questions, guys? Do share in the chat window or in the Q&A section, whatever suits you. We are here to answer.
With a lot of questions, I'm really happy with the engagement. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. Uh, Alnoor, I know accessibility was one thing that Darshit also talked about. How important is that for your publication?
It is important in the sense that we're talking about children and education, and being able to be inclusive in a sense of giving access to our publications. So accessibility is very important, and this is something that we're looking at. And in terms of being able to use the different ways of enriching the publications to make it possible for all children to be able to access the content.
Right. And
Awesome.
it's a
We have
yes, we do support MathML. So yeah, as I said, if you want to share a sample and want us to create a proof of concept, feel free to send it out to us. Let me type in my email address here so you can reach out to me directly as well. Uh, Jagadish@kitaboo.com. So any of you, if you want to reach out and set up a one-on-one or have more questions you want to discuss, feel free to reach out. I think
So there was one person who was raising the hands. Maybe you can type in your question in the chat. You can take it up.
Darshit is typing furiously on the keyboard.
Oh, you guys can hear it. I particularly like the sound of the keyboard. So that old school guy I am.
Yeah.
Maybe curious to know how people were publishing in the days of typewriters. That's an era to remember.
Yeah.
There's one question from Rita. How many languages are supported?
How many languages are supported? I think Darshit, you answered that earlier. I think there's 30 plus languages. In I mean, Right now, we have added about 30 plus 30 odd languages, but there's no limitation to it, and we have not seen any technical limitations to adding additional languages, so it should be possible to add more.
Great, great. We just have about 3 minutes left for this webinar to be concluded. So if you haven't scanned the QR code, signed up for the exclusive offer, you have your chance right now. Go for it. Again, this is not going to be on the website or on email communication anywhere. If you are with us right now, this is only for you. So just scan the QR code. You'll be asked the questions on your name, email address, phone numbers, where you got to hear about KITABOO, and then you'll all set. All of us will, or someone from our team will be reaching out to you, and they'll set things for you in a very smooth fashion, so you don't have to do anything. Perfect. I think we are about 2 minutes remaining. Um, it
So I
was
think
it was Yeah, it was nice having everyone. I loved the engagement. Special thanks to Mr. Alnoor for being a part of this webinar. You're the reason why we hosted this webinar, and the person why this topic also existed for us. So
No,
thank you.
thank you very much. You're welcome. Welcome.
Thank you again, Bhavin, for also being the support while convincing Mr. Alnoor as well to be a part of this webinar and also being part of the webinar to accompany him. Again, thank you for that. And
I,
JC, as always, you, you've been like almost a great companion for all the webinars.
thank you, Alnoor. Thank you so much.
I think we have one question in the Q&A section. I'll read that.
Okay, let's take that. So, are publishers seeing an increase in revenue, or is it the higher reach mostly helping brand awareness?
Alnoor, do you want to add to that, and then maybe I can jump in as well?
Yeah, I think in terms of the wider reach, I think one of the questions earlier on was about that is global reach possible with the platform, and I think that is very critical, especially for an institution like us, where we have our users spread globally. So I think global reach is important. And I think the digital platform is the ideal way of. I mean, we haven't stopped printing our books,
Yeah.
but in terms of convenience, I think and be able to give users the ability to read the publications immediately. I think the digital publishing is the way to go.
Perfect. And just adding to that, the digital revenues are definitely on the rise. That is increasing across the board. All types of publishers that we speak with and we work with, the digital revenues are increasing every year, year on year. It is a matter of how do you speed it up, and how do you keep most of that revenue yourself, and then rather than giving a huge chunk of it as a revenue share to other distributors. So that's where a platform like Kitabo can be really helpful. We can talk more. There are some numbers and stats as well that we can share. We'll have Darshit and team, probably reach out with those stats.
Definitely, definitely. So
I
let's conclude the webinar. Bhavin, you had something to
sorry.
say? Good.
I know we are over time, but there is one more question in the
Oh,
Q&A section.
perfect. Is
Is
there a
there?
way to track not just reach, but actual reader engagement and retention over time?
Yes, yes.
That's
The analytics that I showed in the backend, it actually gives you the engagement statistics, how much they are reading, the reading time, as well as the interactions that they're doing. So, and it's our thesis is that the more interacting they are with the content, they will keep coming back. So that's where the retention and renewals and all of those things will help. With many people moving to subscriptions, I think it's really important to track the usage rather than just the sales. Because if the usage is increasing, of course, the renewals will follow. So that's where the reporting will really help.
Perfect. There's one last question. I'm loving this. People are not allowing us to go. So, do you see AI or personalization tools shaping the future of digital publishing?
I want to say
Uh,
yes, but I also want to say that people are a bit skeptical. Still, don't want to go full-fledged with the AI. People are scared. How much of my content is the model going to use and things like that. But going forward, definitely AI personalization of the content, recommendations, and then creating curated content is going to be really the way forward. I think it's still 3, 4 years down the line. I'm putting my neck out
I
here.
think, yeah, I think
yeah,
particularly for us, in terms of AI, I think being able to generate lesson plans and questions for children,
yeah,
I think that's very useful. And I think that's one of the starting points, probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
JC, you'll be surprised. A lot of our customers are inquiring about AI. So yes, the demand is increasing. Yes, some of them are skeptical. What I'm seeing though is it's on the education front, in the K-12 or higher education front, people are interested in utilizing the capabilities from editorial standpoint, from a teacher instructor standpoint, to help them focus on teaching and reduce that overhead, if I may say so, in terms of creating assessment or content review and stuff like that, right? On the student front, people are interested about the K.AI because our the way we've set up that K.AI, it's not exposing the students to the outside world, right? We are still limiting them within the book, within the environment. So that's where a lot of interest is coming in. But yes, you are right. It will be full-fledged. There will be more demand, maybe 3, 4 years down the line. But we are seeing an increase in inquiries over time.
Yeah. Awesome.
Perfect. We've already crossed our 5 minute mark. So you'll definitely hear from us. I'll be the one who will send you those emails. So do look out for my name, Darshit Shah, and you can ask your questions and we'll be happy to answer them. Also happy to quick on a quick call if the questions are big, like the one we answered before. So with that, um, we'll conclude this session and looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Thank you,
day.
everyone, for
Thank
joining
you.
in.
Bye bye.